So, hey, recently I've been doing some thinking, and what I mean by that is I've been watching a lot of YouTube, and I was watching this podcast, and somebody was talking about how they're worried about like the future generation and stuff like that, because all this stuff that they do on the internet and YouTube and blah 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 blah, and it made me think, well, I need to do something important on my channel. I mean, I get that like laughs and blah 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 are important, but I also want to be able to talk about something that's actually important and actually matters, because I've got some important things to say and you're gonna listen. So take it from a 17-year-old who knows nothing about politics. You need to vote. But before I get into that, I'm gonna move this table because it's kind of okay. Okay, let's go. Okay, so let me start by saying this is not one of those videos where I'm gonna try and push my agenda on you, because that's not the purpose of this. But just so you know, in case you try to call out any like bias or whatever, I don't like Trump. And that's just based on somebody who knows what he's seen but doesn't actually know what he's done or for our country. So like, there's that. I think it's important for all of us to recognize that we're all here together, and we live by each other, we work with each other, and this is all of our country, I guess, or at least we all live in it. So I think we should all try and recognize each other's opinion. One more thing.
YouTube algorithm.
Okay, you know what? This video actually matters, so now, you're probably wondering what I'm doing sitting in my bed. And I'm here because I just realized that after editing for a few hours that everything I shot was completely boring. So, it's a new day, new clothes, new hair, new info. And I want to talk about something that shouldn't really have much to do with voting, but I think once I talk about it, we're all gonna know exactly what it has to do with voting. I'm very lazy. It's the reason I'm sitting in my bed right now editing a trash video. The reason why I don't make videos once a week. And the reason why my abs, my six-pack, is non-existent. But it should not be the reason you don't vote. Or rather, let me say, it's fine to be lazy. I'm lazy. Very, very lazy. But I'm lazy enough to force myself to just make this video and get it over with. So I can say, you know what, I did my part and I'm satisfied and I don't have to go the next 4 years thinking about, wow, I should have just made that video. So you should be as lazy as me and just get up and go vote. So you don't have to spend the next 4 years thinking about, wow, I really should have put in my vote, when you just could have got up and put it in and gotten it over with. Okay? Okay. Now, I'm still in my bed. On to my next point. After taking care of your laziness comes getting informed, which is actually work. But let me say, once again, if a 17-year-old can put in the work to make this video, then you can put in the work that it takes to get yourself informed. I'm not saying I know how 40-year-olds who got kids and their life together and a job and a penthouse, I'm not saying I know how they go about voting, but all I'm saying is maybe you could spend like 30 minutes a few times a week just, oh, what does this candidate do? What do they do? Getting yourself informed. And I think that should be enough. To be honest, this video wasn't made for those exemplary 40-year-olds. This video was made for people who are a lot younger than that. And also, if you're taking the advice of a 17-year-old, then I'm sure you have the time to go and get yourself informed. But one thing I do want to say is, don't trust everything you see on social media. Sure, social media is a great place for people to share their opinions and their photoshopped pictures, but it's not the best place to get all your facts from. I'm not saying you can't go get your facts and then go on Instagram a little bit to see what other people are thinking. All I'm saying is first make your own opinion, and then if you happen to just go on Instagram or Twitter for a little bit, there's really nothing I can do about that, is there? Okay. Now comes actual information that I've done my research on, not using Instagram. And I'll just use it to give a quick overview of some of the points of each of the candidates. But let me just say that I don't have any of this memorized. It's just general stuff, so let me go grab my notebook. I'm gonna switch the angle now in the spirit of not being lazy, or being lazy enough to, yeah. So first of all, I'm going to talk about Mr. Donald Trump. And let me just say, all my information is according to my sources, okay? According to my sources, Trump is not having climate change be a priority. In 2015, he removed us from the Paris Agreement. He removed us from the 2015 Paris Agreement, and he says that instead he's placing more focus on jobs. as far as criminal justice goes, he signed a law in 2018 to expand treatment for prisoners and reduced mandatory minimum sentences. As far as COVID-19 goes, last Friday, as of when this is being shot, he was tested positive for COVID. And in the past, he's downplayed the effects of COVID-19 and doesn't call it COVID-19, but instead calls it, and I quote, not my words, the China virus, or, as he said in the presidential debate, the China plague. Moving on, immigration. He has created a zero tolerance policy for adults who illegally cross the border and come to the United States, and he has also built a wall. Biden. According to my sources, Biden will place more focus on climate change than Trump. He said in the presidential debate that first he'd go and put us back in the 2015 Paris Agreement. He also has a plan to spend a lot of money to eliminate net greenhouse emissions by 2050. And he wants to ban fossil fuel subsidies. For those of you that don't know what a subsidy is, it's money given to a organization or company or anything or factory from the government. Okay? That's a subsidy. As far as criminal justice goes, he wants to address systematic police and prosecution misconduct. What's next? COVID. Biden supports having everybody wear masks, and he would want to increase the equipment and supplies given to healthcare workers and in order to help them. Immigration. He wants to create a path to citizenship for children who come to the United States, so they can become citizens. And he also believes that illegally immigrating to the United States is illegal, but if they are seeking asylum, we should, quote, they should have a chance to make their case. Quote from Mr. Biden. Okay, that's it for the candidates. I'll put the link to my sources in the description, so you can get started on your research. And yeah, I just wanted to go over something that I felt was actually important, and I tried to sit in weird places to film this video to make it more interesting, because what I was doing before was not working. Okay. Well, that's it. Bye. Vote.